My wife came out to me as asexual. You should have seen her face when she saw the divorce papers. My spouse and I have been together for 8 years. Our life in the bedroom has had lots of ups and downs. Sometimes it felt like it was fire and was really good, but there were long stretches where I felt like I was starving. While they never denied me when I initiated, lack of initiation on their part has destroyed my self-esteem and has left me so incredibly unfulfilled. I have so missed the feeling of being desired and having my partner seduce me. It was really hard for my spouse to come out. They were so nervous and scared, and I freaking hugged them and thanked them for telling me. I effed up and told them everything will be alright, but it won't be. I can't go the rest of my life with a partner who isn't sexually attracted to me. So I spoke with a lawyer. I'm so worried about my spouse. They are really dependent on me socially, emotionally, and financially, and I know that they love me. They love me more than anyone has ever in my entire life. I wish love could be enough for me to be happy in a relationship. Tomorrow is really going to suck. Edit. Just to make things clear, an open relationship is not an option. I am strictly monogamous. I'm not the type of person who is capable of having multiple partners. An open relationship isn't going to help me meet my needs that are currently missing in my relationship. What I need is for my spouse to be sexually attracted to me. And for those of you who have assumed the gender of myself and my spouse, the majority of you are wrong. Watch your assumptions. Now here are some relevant comments. One user in the comment section asked, "How did this all work out?" Not well. I ended up leaving. They trashed the place while I was gone and got arrested. Then user 2 commented, "I'm sorry, OP. Hopefully it all works out and you can heal from this." Thanks. Got a lot going on right now, figuring out all the crap I have to do with their cat who got badly injured, figuring out what's going on with their charges, and hiring someone to fix the walls. But I know everything will eventually work out the way it needs to. Just gotta keep swimming. Then user 3 commented and said, "The fact that you were calling the cat their cat, knowing you two were married, really shows that there was never a partnership here. It was just you. You divorcing them is a blessing in disguise for them. The cat is their cat because I am incredibly allergic to cats. I was never able to bond with the cat because even with medication, being in actual contact with her makes me break out into hives. So I have had to keep my distance from her, and we never developed a owner-pet bond. My personal relationship with the cat is more of a friendly roommate thing. The cat also very clearly preferred my soon-to-be ex and was incredibly bonded with them. The cat also predates my relationship with my soon-to-be ex. Calling the cat their cat has absolutely zero meaning in regards to how I viewed my partnership, and is more of a reflection between my own relationship with the cat than anything else. I have always cared about the cat and have put her first in regards to family planning and budgeting. I freaking gave up my favorite room in the house with a gorgeous bay window for the cat when they moved in, since I figured the cat would enjoy it. Not to mention that I also just dropped nearly $6K on the cat this week because I came home to her with a broken jaw. Money from the emergency fund that I was the sole contributor to. But go on and tell me again how referring to the cat as their cat means I never considered them a partner, even though I planned for and made concessions for said cat repeatedly over the last 8 years. Then user 4 commented and said, "I hate to be that person who cares more about a pet than the person in a situation, but man, that makes me sad and happy all at once that you helped it. Did you already pay the vet bill outright? You should know that you can surrender the animal to the clinic. Might be the best option considering it doesn't sound like your ex is gonna get out very soon, and considering your allergy. Are authorities aware of the cat's injuries? Might not be great to pile on animal cruelty charges, but they shouldn't get that animal back. Sorry about everything." I did speak to the police about the cat. They thanked me for the information and asked for information about what vet I took her to, but I haven't heard anything else about it. I did already pay as I took her to the emergency vet and had to pay at the time of services. Didn't really think things through though, just saw that she was hurt and wanted to fix her. I know they are having trouble getting bail together, and I'm still not willing to do that after the way they damaged the house and with dropping almost $6,000 on the cat. Obviously, the divorce is on hold for the moment. Per attorney's advice, as a conviction or jail time could impact what I am responsible for. I am very seriously considering rehoming the cat while my soon-to-be ex is gone. I'm not sure what legal ramifications I will face due to that or how it may affect the eventual divorce settlement. It really sucks because I don't know what happened, and the cat really is super bonded with my soon-to-be ex. She is also a senior now and just, I don't really know what the right thing to do is. But that's a future me problem. Right now, I just gotta focus on cleaning up the house and getting the cat to eat again. She has been refusing food post-surgery. Update. I had to take our family cat to the emergency vet last night. She had a dislocated and broken jaw that required surgery to have it fixed. She came out of surgery just fine, and the emergency vet says she can be released from their hospital tomorrow. Unfortunately, she has some pretty intensive post-op care required that I'm not going to be able to handle on my own, so I have made arrangements with her regular vet to board her during her recovery. I'm looking for ideas and suggestions to make her a little more comfy during all of this. I figured I would bring her bed and a blanket so she has something that smells like home, but would absolutely love ideas. I've heard of pheromone collars that are supposed to help cats relax and stay calm. Are those any good? Also, looking for recommendations for super palatable wet foods or liquid treats. She's going to be on a soft and liquid diet for a while. She can be really picky at the best of times, so I want to arm the staff with lots of options. And this is kind of weird, but do you think I should visit her during her recovery? She and I have a more roommate type of relationship. I'm actually really allergic to cats. I've been okay living with her by taking medication, thorough cleaning, air filters, and her and I respecting each other's spaces. But actual contact with her results in me getting incredibly itchy and breaking out in hives. So even though we've lived together for years, she and I are not super bonded. Her person will not be able to see her. I honestly don't know a lot about cats. I'm not sure if a familiar face would be a comfort or an annoyance. Thanks in advance. I just want this little girl to feel better. Update 2. Tastiest soft food or treat? Even if it is unhealthy garbage, need to get kitty eating after surgery. Our cat had surgery on Wednesday morning for a broken and dislocated jaw. She made it through surgery and the vet is optimistic. But we need to get her eating again. She has to have soft food for a few months. I'm looking for recommendations for anything soft that might get her going again. So far, the only thing she is willingly consuming is goat cheese. The vet is okay with this. It was actually a vet tech's idea. Thanks in advance. Update number 3. I have a not very happy update. I told my soon-to-be ex that we needed to talk. We sat down and pretty much as soon as I mentioned that I wanted to end the marriage due to our sexual incompatibility, they started to become incredibly emotional. First with crying, begging me to reconsider. Then when I held fast to my choice, they became very angry with me. They started yelling and being belligerent, so I told them I was leaving and they followed me out to my car and slammed their fist hard enough on the hood that they left a sizable dent. I actually never even got around to telling them I had already spoken with an attorney or let them have the preliminary draft of our divorce agreement. I went to stay in a hotel. My soon-to-be ex continued to try and text me and call. They left a few really nasty voicemails and a few begging and crying for us to keep working on our marriage before I blocked them to get some rest. The next morning, I came to realize that the police had been trying to contact me. Turns out that my soon-to-be ex went on an absolute rampage through the house. Many of my personal items were destroyed, holes punched and kicked into the walls. Some very sentimental items of mine are now damaged beyond repair. They even took my 80-year-old jade plant out back and put it on the grill. That had been my grandmother's plant. I'm devastated about that. Apparently, during the rampage, the neighbors called the cops with a noise complaint. When the officers showed up, there was an altercation and my soon-to-be ex ended up getting arrested. They are now facing charges for disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and assault on a peace officer. The worst part, though, is that somehow during the rampage, arrest, or while left alone overnight, my soon-to-be ex's cat got badly injured and needed to be taken to the emergency vet for surgery. She pulled through okay, and is currently being boarded at her regular vet's office for post-op. The worst part, though, is that somehow during the rampage, arrest, or while left alone overnight, my soon-to-be ex's cat got badly injured and needed to be taken to the emergency vet for surgery. She pulled through surgery okay and is currently being boarded at her regular vet's office for post-op care as I am unable to provide the level of care she needs. She should be okay, but I feel really bad for her. Her life is turned upside down. She is away from home, and the last memory she has of her favorite person was seeing them be a monster. I'm not sure what I am going to end up doing with her ultimately, but I am doing what I can to get her feeling better. I knew my soon-to-be ex would get emotional and cry and yell. I knew they would be argumentative about it. Those were a pretty big part of why I wanted to have all my ducks in a row before speaking with them. I am super thankful to my therapist who helped me roleplay the talk. I had already packed a bag in my car and was able to stay calm and cool-headed enough to leave when I did. My ex has still not posted bail, and I absolutely refuse to do so. They've been calling me from lockup begging me to, but also yelling at me. I have refused to take any of the calls. The preliminary divorce agreement, where I was attempting an amicable divorce with a decent spousal support for them, is out of the freaking window now. My attorney is fairly confident that with the damages to the house, the cost of surgery for my soon-to-be ex's cat, my soon-to-be ex's violent and threatening behavior towards me, and our pre-existing prenup, that the divorce will be very favorable to me. Guess my state doesn't suck as hard as I thought. My attorney has advised me to hold off on filing until we know the outcome of my soon-to-be ex's criminal convictions, as that can also impact things. I have a hearing this week for a restraining order against my soon-to-be ex, so if they do somehow miraculously make bail, they at least can't come back here. Now here are some relevant comments. User 1 said, "You don't think he hurt the cat, do you? Like, purposefully?" I don't believe they hurt the cat purposefully, no. They adopted the cat before we even met. It has been their cat for the past 11 years. They and the cat were closely bonded. They cuddled every day and had a close bond. I theorize that while they were rampaging through the house, they were throwing and kicking stuff at random and got the cat caught in the crossfire, but I do not know for certain what happened. Then user 2 commented and said, "A broken and dislocated jaw unfortunately may point it to being purposefully done. Most cats are going to run and hide if someone starts yelling or throwing things around. I suspect the cat was kicked, but I really hope it's not true. Even if it wasn't on purpose, get a statement from the vet regarding the cat's injuries. That might actually help with your RO and/or divorce." Believe it or not, I have. Both attorney and police have documentation concerning the cat's injuries. I don't know if they are pursuing charges in that regard, but it is at least documented. Then user 3 commented and said, "Hi there, I'm so sorry that you're going through this. I applaud your calm reaction, but seriously, I'm devastated about your grandmother's jade plant and the freaking cat. Please don't give details about the cat. I will howl with rage. Sending all my positive everything to that plant and the cat and you, of course. Thank you for sharing your journey with us. Wishing you a new lifetime of peace and happiness. Much love to you and that cat and that jade plant. Big hugs." Thank you so much. Can I give you one tiny detail about the cat? It's a fun one. She has eaten like a half a pound of goat cheese this past week. She loves it, and the vet is all for getting whatever calories they can into her. I actually love goat cheese too, but my soon-to-be ex hated it. I just wanted to share that because it brings a little smile to my face. And then finally, user 4 commented and said, "Jade plants are succulents. If a single leaf made it, there's a good possibility of getting it to root." I found some broken branches in the house, and I have propped them already, so my dear little jade will live on in some form. But it was a magnificent beast of a plant though, and its former glory is surely missed. Oh my goodness, this was an eventful story and a whole saga, dare I say, and that cat. Oh my goodness, do they do therapy for cats? Can we put a cat in a chair and talk to it or something like that? I don't know. I feel like the cat needs some help after everything it went through. And then when also OP was like, "Yeah, my partner is dependent on me socially, emotionally, and financially," I was like, oh boy, this is gonna end terribly. And it did! What a surprise. And I don't know what's gonna happen to the cat. Maybe we'll get an update with that, but you know, here's this cat, but also I'm allergic. But I mean, I don't know if I could get into a relationship, let alone a marriage with someone with a pet that I am supremely allergic to. I don't know if that's dedication or stupidity, to be honest, because even touching it breaks you out into hives. Like, I mean, hey. But anyway, what do you guys think on this story? Next story. Story number 2. Friend's sister, 20s F, was openly flirting with my husband, 40M, in front of me, 31F. I told her off publicly, and now they want a public apology from me. What action should I take so that I don't ruin my friendship? I, 31F, am close friends with Lisa, 33F. We met at college and became roommates, and I love her to death. Lisa has a sister, Amy, 20s F, whom I've met occasionally in college, but she was so young at that time we never really hung out. Lisa had a bridal shower in February, and I financially contributed to most of it since I wasn't able to be there in person to help with the planning. I gave money to Amy to pay for everything, the decor, food, and alcohol. I even paid for an overnight stay at a hotel for all 7 girls. I did all of this because I couldn't make it to her bachelorette party the week before. I had also paid for the limo Amy wanted to host the party in. At the shower, I saw Amy, and she was gushing about how I had to spend a lot of money on Lisa. I just said if it was for Lisa, I would have paid for anything. Amy was hinting that my job was paying so much money for me to spend on Lisa this much. I'm a new surgeon that just graduated from residency. I got a pay bump, but not a lot. I'm lucky because my husband is supporting me while I go through fellowship. My husband, 40M, is a doctor too, but so much more advanced in his career than me. For my wedding gift, he paid off the remainder of my student loans. He is amazing and I am obsessed with him. The wedding happened in March. My husband and I came for the wedding. Family and close friends were invited to Lisa's parents' place for dinner after. Amy was very handsy with my husband. Even during the wedding, she was asking him about his job, how smart he was to be working in the ICU, how hot he is, how he looks young like an Alain Delon, blah blah blah. My husband was giving me signals to come to him and I did. This happened at least 2 more times. At Lisa's parents, Amy was wrapping her arm around my husband's back and was serving him drinks and food. I told Lisa's mom about how Amy's making me and my husband very uncomfortable, and her mom pulled her aside and told her off, I think, because she came out grumpy. She was still acting like a crazed teenager because when we wanted to leave, she wouldn't give my husband his jacket back to him and kept sniffing it. I had a feeling that she was drunk and completely out of it. My husband raised his voice and told her to stop messing around and give it to him. Then I yelled, "Can you stop being so difficult? You've been shamelessly flirting with my husband in front of me the whole day. Give me the damn jacket and leave us alone." I got a text from Lisa's mom demanding I publicly apologize to Amy, as in post on social media a heartfelt apology because some of the guests heard me yell at her and thought I was overreacting and humiliated her. Lisa is on my side and told me Amy has always had gold-digging tendencies and that this isn't the first time she's done something like this. She flirted with her friend's dad and their next-door neighbor who is married when she thought they were wealthy. Lisa said that she'll handle it. I already felt so bad I ruined the last moments of her wedding day, and now she has to deal with this? I'm ruminating on this a lot lately and wondering if I should apologize to Amy. I don't want to, but then again, if I did, I would explain exactly what happened and how it merited my reaction to her. Though, this might add fuel to the fire. There is so much drama right now, and I want to preserve my friendship with Lisa. Now here's some relevant comments. User 1 commented and said, "Are the guests at the wedding also your Facebook friends? I don't understand how a public apology on social media would work in this case. I mean, I imagine the guests include aunts, uncles, neighbors, etc. of the family. Are they really going to see your Facebook apology?" Her mom wants me to tag her and Lisa so that their family can see it. I don't even use Facebook anymore, but her family are still active on it. Then user 2 commented and said, "If you don't use Facebook, then there's your answer. Lisa said she'll handle it. I'd leave this alone." Update. Going to keep this one as short as I can. So, the previous post got so popular that Amy's mom found it and texted me to take it down, in all caps. I got around to read most of the comments a day after I posted when I finished my shift. I did not apologize to anyone or did anything at all. Frankly, I forgot about it since I had people close to me dying on my left and work on my right. Then I gaslit Amy's mom into thinking that I never did such a thing and that I do not have a Reddit account. She believed it. At least I think, since she didn't text me back. Come on, the details I put in the post were exactly what she experienced and she didn't find it odd? For clarification, first, one of you said I had a spine of a jellyfish, loved that comment, and not apologizing was the right thing to do. I was hesitant and was actually considering giving that apology because of the fact that she fed me and let me stay in her home during Thanksgiving and Christmas many years ago when I couldn't go home to my family. I am the kind of person who will remember every good thing you do for me and do my best to reciprocate, or get even so as to not be indebted to you. I don't know what kind of mental illness that is. I never retained much of the psychiatric info from med school. 2. A lot of people insinuated that me being docile and restrained in those kinds of situations made me a bad surgeon, to which I say, I beg your effing pardon? Would you want someone who's operating on you to have a criminal record for causing bodily harm and homicide? Also, I've dealt with way worse than Amy, and I've survived handling 19 psychotic patients, with TBIs for a whole rotation. Me being aggressive would have gotten me kicked out of my fellowship. As for the update, here are the things that have transpired. 1. I tried to avoid contacting Lisa since she went off on her honeymoon, but because of the popularity of my previous post, I decided to give her a heads up. Lisa was more than apologetic. In fact, she FaceTimed me and we had a very teary conversation about her family. There was a lot more going on that I never knew, but mine and my husband's involvement in her family drama was the last straw. She decided to go no contact with her mom and sister. She also warned me that Amy might approach my husband in some way, but had no idea how. She's also getting her extended family involved about Amy. 2. My husband does not have any social media, so hot, and he did not give out his number to anyone at all during the wedding. He is anal about loyalty and transparency in our marriage. We have access to each other's electronics. I know he would never cheat on me. 3 days ago, someone called my husband's clinic asking to get his number for an emergency and that she needed to get a hold of his wife. The nurse who answered refused to give a physician's personal number and the conversation got heated. My husband's colleague then took over and asked her to tell him what the emergency was so that she could tell my husband herself. The person on the phone argued some more, and when the doctor wouldn't agree, she hung up. That friend told my husband what happened and said the woman didn't give her name but had a very high-pitched childlike voice. My husband immediately knew it was Amy, but we have no proof. I know it was her. She must have searched my husband's name on Google and found where he worked since his professional profile is online along with the name of his hospital. I'm getting more and more irritated by this whole thing and have gone full-on mama bear mode over my husband. He was furiously annoyed after the wedding and was saying if the genders were switched, he would have definitely gotten punched not even halfway through the wedding. My husband had terrible experiences with women before. 2 women at different times tried to baby trap him. One did some Sherlock Holmes level manipulation and one harassed us when we were dating. He is usually a cool and calm guy, but now he hasn't been smiling or joking around with me like he usually does ever since the wedding. Anywho, my uncle, our lawyer, was consulted. Security at my husband's department and around our home have been notified. Thank you guys. P.S. Kelly, if you're reading this, do something about your younger daughter before something bad happens. Also, you don't deserve your older daughter. Now here's some relevant comments. User 1 commented and said, "Dang, can your lawyer uncle draft a letter to scare Amy? Just outlining what she is doing is harassment and the outcome if she continues? Sounds like Amy might need mental help and threats of repercussions might force her mother's hand to getting her help. Is the dad around? I hope other family members will start pressuring Amy to get help." Nope, we couldn't prove it was Amy that called. We just have to wait and see if she does anything else. Our only hope is that she stays broke and can't afford to travel to where we live since it's far from her. And her dad is dead. And I hope she gets help too. Then user 2 commented and said, "How come everybody got an uncle lawyer, what?" I am half Asian. That uncle is Asian too. That should answer your question. And then finally, user 3 commented and said, "OP, that response was hilarious." Dang, OP going mama bear mode for the hubby. I wish I had a wife to go mama bear mode over me for. But anyway, also she was really big on him not having social media. Is that a thing that people want? Not for their partners to have social media? Is that like a thing that you guys want? I've heard about that, but I don't know how big of a deal that is. Like, I can't not go without memes on Instagram. That's just me, right? That's what I'm using, right? Like, I'm not using it to like cheat or anything. I just want to look at memes. But as for the story, Amy is nothing. She is a piss ant. She is an iota. She is a microscopic vermin that will be squashed within due time, okay? She is nothing compared to what we've seen here before. She is nothing compared to what OP has seen before. And Amy is just another drop in the bucket of stupid people that we encounter in life, okay? Nobody needs an Amy, all right? I am roasting Amy today. Sorry, girl. I'm not sorry, okay? You gold digger. Nuh-uh. What are you doing? You are broke. Get a job. What do you think? This 40-year-old man's gonna leave his wife for you? You little high-pitched girl? No! You are not desirable, Amy. Bye. But anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this story, the last story, any of the stories, any of the questions posed here today? Have fun in the comments. But we are at the end of the video, and thank you all so much for watching. Bye-bye!